Hey kids, it's me, Dad. Welcome to the Gaming with Dad show. Today we are looking at Willy's Wonderland for the Nintendo Switch. This is, of course, Willy's Wonderland, the game. Presently on sale for $4.49, regularly $4.99, so it's only 10% off. But you know what? It's 10% off until 6/28 of 2024. Defeat a group of animatronics that come to life in Willy's Wonderland. Willy's Wonderland, the game, is a 2.5D beat-em-up game based on the cult film of the same name, in which a group of animatronics comes to life and slaughter people who dare to visit Willy's Wonderland. Yes, that's right. This game is based on the 2021 movie starring Nicolas Cage. But this game was originally released June 13th, 2024, so 3 years later. Single system 1 or 2 player action arcade fighting multiplayer from Tgwds Interactive, rated T for teen. Supports all 3 play modes. It is 1.3 gigs and supports English and English only. So none of that funny German that we hear every once in a while around the Gaming with Dad show offices. So yeah, this game is based on a Nicolas Cage movie, which, I mean, quite honestly, I love Willy's Wonderland, the movie. I'm not going to intercut anything in this review because they are notorious for copyright strikes. But yeah, the description on Willy's Wonderland, the movie, is a quiet drifter is tricked into a janitorial job at the now condemned Willy's Wonderland. The mundane task suddenly becomes an all-out fight for survival against wave after wave of demonic animatronics. So yeah, this is essentially Five Nights at Freddy's, just without the license. The movie does star Nicolas Cage, who doesn't say a word throughout the entire movie, and Emily Tosta. That said, this game is a beat-em-ups based on that. And the first thing I'm going to say about the graphics is this. During the opening, it looked like Nick Cage's character. They made several references to Nick Cage's character. This character that you are supposedly playing as is supposed to be the janitor, does not look like Nicolas Cage. Not even in the least. But that said, the graphics are bright, they're fun, they're well animated. They are pretty darn good. That said, they're not great, they're not perfect. I am giving graphics a 17. Sound-wise, you get a fair number of hits and kicks and sound effects. There's a pretty much heavy metal rock track going on in the background, or at least speed guitar of some kind. It's not offensive. It gets the job done. I'm giving sound a 16. We're sitting at 33. Controls. The controls are actually pretty good. I mean, on your character sheet, it tells you when your special moves are ready for the cooldowns and everything. Oh god, I just died. You punch, you kick, you kind of have to string them together. I haven't found any like special secret moves or anything. No headbutts or whatnot. But the controls work. They're solid. I haven't really. The 2.5D thing isn't really. God, how do you avoid that? Okay, the 2.5D thing, yeah, I mean, it works well enough. It really doesn't seem to actually impact hitboxes all that much. But controls are getting a 17. We are sitting at 50. I've talked a little bit about gameplay. It is a beat 'em up, a button masher, if you will. And I'm not going to say this complimentary wise. It is a less enjoyable beat 'em up than Shaq Fu. I don't know what it is. It's just, it gets dull and repetitive really quickly. And that's an unfortunate thing. The movie is never dull, nor is the movie ever repetitive. It's one of those that, quite honestly, they could have done a better beat 'em up with a different franchise. I don't know if this game or this movie lends itself to a beat 'em up. They had to invent bad guys for you to beat up, so they made all the corpses from the movie into zombies. They kind of Five Nights at Freddy'd them and turned them into undead warriors. Whereas in the movie, the animatronics are, they're possessed, demonic, cult possessed. I do like that the bosses come back as other fighters. That's kind of from, Double Dragon with a Bobo. He goes from being a mini boss to being an outright just common enemy that you have to fight. But that said, the gameplay isn't great. Maybe it would be fun with a buddy. You watch the movie and then kind of play through the game. But outside of that, I don't think it's gonna. The gameplay just isn't there. It's not solid enough of a beat 'em up. There's not enough variety to what you can do. I'm giving gameplay a 15. We're sitting at 65. Overall value, as I've said, this is like a poor man's Shaq Fu. That game at least had a good sense of humor about it. The movie itself has a good sense of humor about it. That humor is lacking here. I think you're going to get bored with this one, quite honestly. Beat 'em ups already have that problem where they're easy enough to get bored with, and then you start getting some cheap shots from the villains that you can't avoid, and they can juggle you just as well as you can juggle them. It's just kind of dull and repetitive, and the only reason to play this is if you're a fan of the movie. I'm giving value of 15, which does give this game an 80. So, yeah, honestly speaking, even though this is a B, it survives on its graphics and sound and functional controls. It is not that enticing of a game to play. Although, God, this fairy is just creepy as can be. And she was in the movie, too. She's actually my favorite animatronic from the movie. And she's also the one that's the least animatronic of all the animatronics from the movie. Clearly, it is just somebody wearing the giant birthday head from the Japanese steakhouse down the street. That said, have yourself a good one. And yes, I've got a new microphone on order. We're using the MacBook mic to record this episode because my snowball died. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Made it this far, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, all that wonderful stuff for the algorithm, and be good people.